This is The Wire, season 3, episode 6, I believe. I just want to go ahead and start off with a character. I just learned his name. He was one of the newer additions to the series overall, and in this season. His name's Cuddy. So this particular character did like 14 years in prison or something. That comes back, and the one I want to call bullshit on this now. I feel like they didn't get a character a fair shake when he's looking for employment. I feel like he just gave up too quick. I feel like maybe the character was like, oh, it shouldn't be this hard to find a job. But he got a lot going. He's got a lot going against him in this situation. Convicted felon, no GED, no high school diploma, no work experience, blase, blase, blah. They're not going to give you a chance. You have to have a certain amount of stuff on that resume to get you anywhere. I understand that. Seemed like he just gave up too hard. They didn't even show him applying for jobs anyway. So he does what I think any sane guy would do. He goes and seeks out people who he was in love with and people that he was chummy with, rubbing shoulders with old faces. Well, that doesn't make any sense now, does it? Rubbing shoulders with old faces. I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say, but he's trying to seek out some nostalgia. That makes sense. Hope he's not rubbing his shoulder on somebody's face. That's kind of weird. But anyway, the character goes out and does that, and eventually he gets sucked back into the life, and he's using drugs again, and he's holding a pistol, whatever. And it comes time for him to put in work, meaning to exterminate or take a life. Way he says it, I was close enough to the guy to take his Kango hat off and a piece of his head, or a piece of his head with it. And he said, I couldn't do it. It wasn't in me. And he's having this conversation with Avon. Oh, and mind you, Avon's out and back at the head of the organization by now. This episode, he comes out. He's explaining to him, it's just not in me. I can't do it. But, I don't know if it's like movie BS or it comes from reality. But, Avon's not, that character's not, oh man, once you in, you always in. None of that was even said. It's okay. You stood up like a man, and you first and foremost, you were true with yourself, and secondly, you were true with me. So I can commend that. But if you're no help to us, you're a liability. So go do your thing. You know what I mean? Just, you can't be around here. Makes all the sense in the world. And of course, the two individuals that are there, as Avon and another character, the guy who was putting in the work with this Cuddy character, of course they're gonna talk about you when you leave, and he gonna say, man, that was a real stand-up dude, man. He was a real cool brother back in the day, and this and that. But Avon, he responds back, no, he is, well, the guy was like, he was a real cool dude, or he was a good man back in the day, and Avon responds, but no, he is a man, meaning he's a man right now, because it I don't know if that's necessarily the definition of a man. I wouldn't say that, but those are the characteristics. You know what I mean? You got to stand up and what was that saying I heard all the time? Say what you mean and mean what you say. It's a great example of that, I think. I mean, maybe they use that in a reference to something else in the streets. I don't know, but that's the vibes I get. He stood up. He didn't cower away from the situation. He took it head on. I feel like that is characteristics of a man. So it's just interesting to see that character, for that character story to even be told in such a manner, because you get so accustomed to seeing characters in about that life and all this, and always those characters are always glamorized as being that guy when they're doing all this hellacious and brutal and poisoning the community and things like that. They're doing all those things, and they're always glorified. It's good to see one of those individuals express feelings of going in the other direction, even though he lived that life beforehand. Now, I guess I can get back to the rest of the episode. So you've got, of course, Avon's out. Uh, I guess I could talk about Stringer now. Stringer, he's an interesting character. Now he's completely taking control of all the legitimate business, and they show that Avon is lacking in that department. But with that, I would expect Avon to get a little jealous, no matter what his position is in the company. I would expect him to be a little bit jealous of Stringer's ability to take control of the situation. But I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing him focus his energy towards the street stuff, which is causing it's more good than it's causing more bad than good because of him feeling weak, or I just put a little spit on my mouth of for him feeling weak or whatever the case may be. Well, he's actually bringing unnecessary attention from the police to what they got going on. I mean, they've got a lot going for them, even though the majority of it may be going down a bad direction by these guys and the rest of the. I guess I was about to say a really old term, but the D boys or the pushers or the dope guys or whatever they're selling, they're all in this centralized or put in this one area by this major character, and that's going for them. And Stringer has somehow also put together a treaty with every other major player in the town. So, like I say, he's putting in a lot of work and moving the groove and putting in work, making things happen. Is a really interesting character. Also, what else happened? I guess I could talk about the cop side of the thing because I don't want to leave them out of it now, do I? McNutty and Kima, of all people. These two officers, I mean, well, basically the charge is being led by McNutty. I mean, he is really tenacious when it comes to this case. He just won't stop going after Avon. The task force has basically shifted their focus from this drug organization over towards like homicide related things. That's putting a little bit of tension on the lieutenant now. He's got his own thing going on. He has his own domestic situation going on with his wife, and he goes into detail explaining why he's doing what he's doing, and he's a strong man because I don't think I could do that. You basically leave me for some petty reason. I feel like it's a petty reason. I went ahead and said it. I feel like because there was promises made. Maybe I need to grow a little bit. Maybe I need to grow up a little bit and actually experience something like that before I go and call it petty. But there's promises made on his end, and he turned back on it. I think it's human nature. You call it flip flop, whatever. I think it's human nature that you're allowed to change your mind. I feel like, but the character changes his mind and continues to be police. And she leaves him for that. Maybe I was missing something. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. So, but now she's running for like a position in office or something like that. And in order to keep up appearances, he has to come with the wedding ring and in the police uniform, just that and the third. But he's also dating the lawyer chick that McNutty was messing around with in previous episodes. So you've got that going on. And the end of the episode is actually the lieutenant sitting in office with the boss and the boss's boss and this newer character, the major, and it looks like they're gonna put him down on something crazy because, of course, McNutty's went over everybody's head and just trying to get the case pushed back to this Avon stuff, and it's messy. It's getting messy, real messy. Also, McNutty's made mention of this broad, who I think is his match. I'm so interested to see how this is gonna play out. I'm so interested to see that. What else happens in this episode? Talking a lot today, ain't I? Too much caffeine. That's what it is. Too much caffeine. So let me see here. What else happens in this episode? Jeez, what else happened in this episode? I talked about McNutty a little bit. Talked about Kima. I didn't talk about our undercover guy. He's back in the picture. Doing good work. He's not necessarily putting red hats on people anymore, but he's that ear to the street that they need, and he's doing a great job. The character, anyway. Oh, okay. I can talk about this. So, Omar's back in the picture now. his two counterparts, the two people he's working with, they are obviously still upset about what happened with the death of their other friend, and Omar's shaking up about it, but he's putting on a tough face and going out there. And Bunk, McNulty's old partner, is putting the squeeze on Omar, and apparently they grew up in the same neighborhood. So he's saying just the right stuff in order to rattle Omar's cage and shake him off his foundation, which I like. I want to see how that plays out. Now, what else happens in this episode? Oh yeah, I guess I should revisit the Barksdale situation. So he's putting his efforts into regaining these corners, but I feel like it's doing more harm than good. And now he's going to war with this another new character, this younger kid who's got control of some blocks. So, and of course, you're dealing with less than adequate help, and things always seem to get messed up. It is what it is. So now, I'm just interested to see how that plays out. I think I've talked myself out of all my win in this particular upload. So, if you enjoy listening to me rant and rave about The Wire, in particular one character for like 4 minutes, I have other videos of this. I've also got a Futurama. I just started back doing that. I've got complete series of Breaking Bad. I've got what else I got? I'm sprinkling in some more movies now too. So go check those out. Don't forget to subscribe.